Welcome back to Landing Zone Home. Today I have a special video for you. This is Expect the Unexpected. There's things that's going to happen while you're on the road or at the campground that maybe you haven't anticipated, but I'm going to walk you through some of those unexpected things that could happen and show you how to be prepared so you're always a happy camper. Stick around. Have you ever considered what you might do if you're traveling down the road and your trailer behind you is on fire? Well, the first thing you'd want to do is to get your tow vehicle disconnected from the trailer after you pulled off to the side of the road. That way you can maybe at least save your tow vehicle from going down with the fire. If you go back to your hitch coupler and you found that you've done this, put a padlock on here to protect it. Then you've got to go find the key and you've got to unlock the lock to release the hitch coupler. I can't say that I'd recommend this. I'd want something a little bit quicker. I prefer using what's called a wire latch pin. It goes through like this. It secures your coupler where it's not going to come out, and it's quickly removed if you need to do that. But you do have to be aware that once you remove the pin and unhook the hitch coupler from the hitch, you still have to raise the coupler up because you have the weight on the ball. Now, even with your trailer on fire, your batteries are located real close to your jack and they're directly connected. In most cases, the connection for your batteries to your jack does not go through a fuse panel or anything. It's direct wired. So I'm pretty certain that if you do not have fire in the front of your trailer close to the batteries, you'll still have power going to your jack. You can raise your jack up just an inch or two, get in your vehicle and pull off. So while we're talking about your jack on your trailer, what would you do if your jack fails? If it fails, you would not be able to get it off of your vehicle at the campsite, or when you get ready to leave the campsite, you couldn't lower the trailer back down onto your tow vehicle. So what you see here is a bottle jack. And you may want to carry one of these just as a backup for your trailer jack. They're real simple to operate. You'll need one or more pieces of wood to raise it up to a high enough level. And then you'll attach the jack handle and start jacking it up. Of course, I'll need more wood under here to reach it up, but you just want to get it up under the frame. And when you do that, that's going to raise your trailer up, allowing you to hook up to your vehicle or whatever it is you're wanting to do. Now, this same bottle jack can be used to change a tire if you have a flat on your trailer. They're pretty expensive, they last a long time, and they're well worth the investment of $20 or $30 just to keep one available should you need it. So you go to Walmart, you come back out, and you find out someone has gone and pulled your pin and stolen your hitch. Well, to you, the hitch is a vital piece of towing your RV. But to the right person, this is just 50 pounds of scrap metal. They can easily pull this off, throw it in their vehicle and drive off and take it to the scrapyard and get instant cash. Some of you are saying that you like this release pin type better because it gives you a safer feeling going down the road. And I'll tell you that I do have a solution that makes this much better. This is a locking pin right here, but it has the best of both worlds. Before you put the lock on, it has a standard type locking clip here. You can put that on, and that keeps your pin from coming out regardless. And then you take your lock, put your lock on, then you're good to go. Your hitch is now safe. So here's a better look at that locking pin. I'll put a link to this in the video description down below. If you're in your RV when a fire starts, you really have a couple of different options to get out. First is always the door. If you're close enough, if you're not blocked, get to the door, get out, take your family with you, pets included. If the door is blocked, then you have another choice, and that's out the windows. There's always one or more windows marked for emergency exit. They can be a different setup from RV to RV, but in this one here, you can see the handles are marked red, which is pretty standard. You'll want to practice opening this up and showing your family how to do it and how to get out of the window if necessary. Sometimes the windows are a little bit high getting out. In a lot of cases, if your RV is high off the ground, you may have to just fall out of the window as best you can. So what's your plan if the driver becomes disabled? I mean, let's face it, you can be out on a hiking trail and sprain an ankle or fall down and hurt your shoulder, who knows what. It doesn't take a whole lot to make it very uncomfortable driving if you hurt yourself, or especially if there's something a little more serious that happens to the driver. But what do you do if your driver is no longer able to drive? Well, hopefully you have a co-pilot, another person that can jump up under the wheel and take over, and you're good to go. That's not always the case. But if you do have someone that travels with you on a regular basis, at least teach that person the fundamentals of driving your RV, your motorhome, pulling your trailer or fifth wheel, just so that they can at least get you to a safe location where you can make a plan and go from there. Or maybe if they're comfortable, they can get you all the way through your trip and do whatever's necessary. Now, if you don't have that co-pilot or someone that can drive for you, there are some services that do offer RV relocation services, such as the FMCA, Family Motor Coach Association. They do have a volunteer driver program that will get you back home. You just have to cover the driver's expenses. There may be something like this with your insurance company. There may be something like this with some of your other associations that you might be affiliated with. But just keep that in mind. What happens if your driver becomes disabled? Have a plan, just so that you're not stuck sitting on the side of the road. And while we're talking about being stuck on the side of the road, what happens if you have a flat tire, or if you do need to be towed, or you have a lockout, something like that, out of gas situation? These are some of the common things that all of the roadside services will provide. And I strongly recommend that this is one thing that you do have before you go off on your trip, is a roadside service. Now, not all of the roadside services are created equal. Some are, of course, varying in prices. You have to ask the specific questions about will they cover your particular type of RV. If it's a Class A or a travel trailer or fifth wheel, whatever you have, make sure that they do cover that RV. Some of these roadside service plans will offer up RV protection or RV coverage, but it might not be enough. The coverage may be something like towing the first 25 or 50 miles. If you're out in Yellowstone, for example, and you need towing to a service center, 50 miles is not going to get you very far. So you want to consider all of these types of things might come into play before you sign up for a roadside service. There's many out there. Several of them are excellent, but make sure you understand the details and the coverage before you sign up for the plan. Have you ever been locked out of your RV? Well, it happens, and it happens quite a lot. And it's not unusual for something to go wrong with your lock, either internally or maybe wear and tear has just worn down something in there. Usually it's something simple, but typically you have to call a locksmith to come out to get into your RV. That's probably where your keys are, is inside. And then that's going to be an expense you hadn't planned on. So what you would want to do, and what I recommend, is taking a spare set of keys, usually a key for the deadbolt and a key for the door latch, and put them somewhere outside of the RV where you can get to them. If it's in the tow vehicle, or if it's hidden away in some real unique place, someone's not going to find it, then that's good. If you try to always keep a set of keys on your person, that's likely not always going to happen. You may run out the door just to pick up a drink, or maybe one of the children outside has cried and the door closes behind you and all of a sudden you're locked out. There's one other aspect of this, and that's a lock-in. When you're inside, you can't get out. Usually that's a failure of the mechanisms in here, and it does happen. In that case, you may have to crawl out of a window to get outside to get the door open. Well, I hope you found this video interesting, and maybe it's something you can retain down the road to help you on one of your camping trips. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button right now and ring the little bell so you get notifications of all of my future videos. And until next time, thanks for watching.